welcome to Local Talk. I'm your host, Angela Allen with the Granville County Tourism Development Authority. And whether you realized it or not, I'm definitely not in the studio. We wanted to take you guys on the road this particular month because I got a lot of events to tell you about, but there are some of the coolest places in Granville County to just get out and about for the fall season. And so today, my special guest is Derek Helberg. He is with Tar River Land Conservancy. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Angela. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And you guys all know that I like to give introductions of the great people who do great things in our county. So Derek, just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the Conservancy.
Well, I've been with Tar River Land Conservancy for just shy of 20 years. We're
Wow.
an organization that has been doing land conservation projects in Granville County for about 25 years. Today we're going to take a look at one of our public nature preserves in Granville County.
Awesome.
And that's a lot about what I do, is helping design, acquire land, and work with folks in the community to figure out how to get the trails started. And as a result of the projects, it's given me a chance over the last couple decades to really get to know Granville County and be part of the community in a lot of different ways.
Oh, awesome. So as you guys can see, we are definitely on one of the newest trails in Granville County. We're actually in Creedmoor. And so the trail that we're going to take you on today is called Robert Creek Nature Preserve. So this is going to be a walking tour and a walking interview. So I definitely invite you guys to come along with us as we explore this trail this morning. So as you can see, we're actually on the trail out here at Roberson's Creek, and Derek's going to tell us a little bit about the connection between the city of Creedmoor and Tar River Land Conservancy and how these lovely trails actually work within the system of the community.
Yes, we opened these trails. We have about 1.9 miles of hiking trails here at the Roberson Creek Nature Preserve. They were opened last November, so just
It
shy
has
of a year
not
ago.
been just a year. That's
right.
awesome.
And in that time, we've seen a lot of use and a lot of folks who have kind of adopted the property as their place to go and get outside on a daily basis or a weekly basis. We work very closely with the city of Creedmoor. We're in the corporate limits of Creedmoor. We're not even a mile and a half from downtown Creedmoor. And we're close to a lot of different neighborhoods, which makes it very easy for folks to come out and visit, even on a daily basis. We have folks who walk it alone, with their family members, with their kids, but it also is very popular with dog walkers. In the bigger context, we're about 2 miles upstream from Falls Lake. The Roberson Creek is one of the big tributaries of Falls Lake, just south of here. And there's a big wetland within the 155 acres on this property that covers about half of the land. And that's also a haven for wildlife, many different bird species, all kinds of amphibians and reptiles and mammals that utilize the wetland areas.
So you don't have to be on the trails by yourself, in other words.
This is true. And during your hike, you'll hear all kinds of sounds and you'll see all kinds of things.
Like we're hearing this morning.
We do. I think we're hearing cicadas up in the treetops. But long term, Creedmoor has plans to build greenway trails. It's a very forward-thinking idea. This section of trail actually crosses an area that will eventually become a paved greenway.
Oh, wow.
This is kind of a brushy area that follows along a right-of-way and easement that the city of Creedmoor holds for a future greenway. And that'll be a new way, we hope, in the future. It may take 10 or 15 years before the full greenway system is eventually built here in Granville County. But this will be a new way for people to be able to access and enjoy this particular preserve and the other conservation lands that are just south of here.
Great. Well, let's walk a little bit further. Let's see what we can find. So, as you guys can see, there are different parts to the trail, and I love this actually about the Tar River Land Conservancy. They make a very conscious effort to make these trails accessible. So Derek, tell us a little bit about how you guys do that with the trail systems that you have here in Granville County.
Well, Each of the trails, we have to kind of start with an analysis of what the terrain is like, what the ground is like. And in some areas we have to get a little creative in figuring out how we can make sure that people can enjoy the trails and get out of them safely throughout the year. This is an example of a section of this particular trail where it floods during heavy rain areas, but we wanted to make sure that people could continue to access the portions of the trail further in that are kind of more hilly and drier. And so we came up with a design and worked with volunteers to be able to build a long series of what we call bog bridges, which is a little narrow platform boardwalk, as well as a few bridges like this where the water flows underneath in channels, in little stream channels during rain events. It's dry right now, but in the wintertime, if we were to come back, we would see little pools of water standing kind of along the trail, but everybody would be able to safely walk through this area, through the trees, through the forest, on these little raised boardwalk areas to get to and from the sections of trail.
Speaking of that, this is for all my new hikers, and I am definitely included in that category, guys. I really did not start hiking, honestly, until COVID, when we could not get out and about to our favorite restaurants and retail shops and attractions. We had the outdoors no matter what. And so Derek, please explain for those that are thinking about going outdoors, that are new to this, just how easy it is actually to do right here in Granville County.
Well, there are 5 different places where you can go hike on Tar River Land Conservancy preserves.
Awesome.
Within a short drive of Creedmoor and Butner and the town of Stem. And if you're interested in finding out where those are, the easiest way is just to do an internet search that says trails or hiking trails near Creedmoor. And you're going to find links to a bunch of the trail maps, trail information about where to go. But total, we have just shy of 11 miles of hiking trails for people to be able to get out and explore.
I'm not going to do that in one day, but yeah.
Spread it over time. There's a lot to see, a lot of variety as well. But for people who are new to hiking, what you'll find when you get to our site is a parking area with a map on a little message board, a kiosk at the front, as well as a trail brochure that will show you the layout of the trails and color medallions, little signs that are on trees along the way to make sure you feel like you're on the right track as you're going. The other thing about our trails is that they're laid out in loop fashion, so if you start going one direction, eventually you're going to get back to where you started.
Thank God. Because that's the biggest thing for me in trails. It's like, it's beautiful to be out here, but how do I eventually get out? And you guys make that pretty easily.
We want to make sure everybody has a good time and a great experience and wants to come back and enjoy it. And we do encourage people to come back at different times of the year because nature has a lot to show you depending on what time of the year it is. Wintertime, springtime, summer, or fall. And the fall is really a very popular time to get out as the temperatures cool down.
I love that part, and it's my favorite time of the year, so that's why I invited you guys video-wise to see what we're doing, because right now it's leaf time, and so this is perfect setting just to be in. So let's go just a little bit further and see what else we can find on this trail. Okay, so we've got a good stopping part here on the trail at Roberson Creek, and just like Derek mentioned before, it is real easy for you guys to actually determine where you want to take your trail at. These arrows, actually we're in the midpoint of the trail itself, so you literally can decide which way you want to go. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about the other trails that are in Granville County that you can also explore and determine which way you want to go. So Derek, tell us a little bit about them.
Well, we have another preserve close to Creedmoor called the Horseshoe Road Nature Preserve. That is the preserve that offers about over 3.5 miles of trails, and we're actually working on laying out some more.
Wow.
That'll be a project that we'll work on probably over a year or two to add and expand that trail network just south of Creedmoor, near the communities that are near the Wake County line.
Definitely out on Highway 96, and I was actually there for that particular ribbon cutting.
Yes.
I actually loved the neighbors that participated in that, y'all. Like I was thinking, there were going to be young families, things of that nature. these were elderly people that came out to see this particular trail, and they were up in age, if I'm not mistaken, too, right?
I think you're correct, yes.
Yeah, and so that was the coolest part, I think, about the trails with Tar River Land Conservancy, that they are spread out enough that, yes, we're in a city pretty much oriented trail, but they do go out in the county area and make it accessible for all different ages. And I particularly remember that trail because, of course, we went through the whole dignitary stuff, what we always do with ribbon cuttings and everything. And I remember one of the neighbors coming up, she said, "So when do we get the tour?" So it's just wonderful that people are that excited about the different trails. So I'm going to stop
Yes.
interrupting you and talk about the other ones.
Well, you are correct that it's not only the folks who are moving into Granville County who are looking for places to get outside, but it's the people who've been here for a long time. And it's all the generations from the youngest to the oldest who are enjoying and getting outside. And even the folks who've been here, their families have been here for generations, they grew up being outside in the woods.
Yes.
And when we've opened these trails, the people who are often most excited are the people who live nearby.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to be able to get out and hike on their own or go out with their grandkids. And that was the case with Horseshoe Road.
I love that.
The big trail, kind of our flagship, if you will,
Yes.
nature preserve is the Ledge Creek Conservation Area. That's just outside of Stem, and we have two trailheads there, one on Brogden Road and one on Old 75. And each of those trails offers a little bit different vista and view. But that's a trail with a little more up and down in terms of
Yes.
terrain.
If you're looking for a challenge, that's the one you want to go to.
Yes, it's not quite what you'd get up in the mountains of North Carolina.
Okay, Derek, don't even say that, because I've been on that particular trail. It may not be in the mountains, but I'm going to tell you, you get some good training if you want to get to the mountain trails. So, yes.
The great thing about the trails that we offer is that you can go to a place like Ledge Creek and see beautiful oak trees and slopes that go through the mile of Ledge Creek that we have within the preserve. But then you can also go down to Horseshoe Road, where we have a wetland area that's about 10 or 15 acres, where there's ducks, there's all kinds of activity during the springtime. The beavers have created this big wetland area. You have a very, very big diversity of habitat and scenery conditions for people who want to get out and kind of have different things to see.
And honestly, that's how a lot of people here in Granville County and outside of Granville County got an introduction to Tar River Land Conservancy. It was through Ledge Creek. It was amazing to me. We were talking about that during that time of 2020, how much traffic actually went through that particular trail. And it was like, maybe we're on to something right here in this particular area.
The timing worked out pretty well. We opened it
Yes.
right before the pandemic, and as you mentioned, people were really looking for places close to home to get
Yes.
outside. We were all kind of stuck inside for the most part, not interacting with one another
Yeah.
in public spaces, but being able to get out and walk trails where all had a safe distance, get some exercise, get our heart rate up. It proved to be what was needed in that area.
And that's the coolest part, in my opinion. As you guys already know, a lot of the state parks and larger parks in areas outside of Granville County seem to have an overcrowded, honestly. But we were very fortunate here in Granville County for people to explore and get out and do some things in our area. So let's go a little bit further, see what else we can find on this trail. So look what we have found, guys. This is actually a part of the trail here at Roberson Creek Nature Preserve. So Derek, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing right now.
Well, behind me is part of the big wetland area that's kind of the center of Roberson Creek Nature Preserve. Roberson Creek kind of flows through the floodplain of this preserve. And behind me is an open area. It's kind of grassy and marshy, which is a great habitat for birds. And we have so far documented 101 species of birds in a year and a half, including some that are here year-round, but many of which just travel through and migrate through Granville County, either going north or south in the spring or the fall. And water areas like this are great habitat because it provides food, insects, and other things for the birds to be able to get nutrition from.
Wonderful.
But also it's a place where deer, mammals, other wildlife will come when the water levels are high enough to be able to drink. But it offers some nice vistas on the trail here, and a good place. We've got benches for people to sit
Yeah, I love
and
it.
enjoy.
It's actually a bench right in front of us, you guys, from where we're located right now.
That's right. And each of these benches were put in by volunteer groups, and we kind of picked the location specifically to give people a chance to sit and rest, just listen to nature, and enjoy what's out here, the sights and
Perfect
sounds.
perspective. So what you're seeing now is what you would see if you were sitting at the bench and looking across the way. So this is a wonderful time to actually talk about the ways that you can actually get involved in the Tar River Land Conservancy, because these views, these trails, the actual listing of species that you can find on these trails are all done through volunteers. So please, Derek, tell us how we can get involved.
Well, there's lots of ways to get involved. We're working on new trail projects as we speak. We've got another one we hope will be open probably in another year or so, depending on how quickly everything comes together.
Great.
Near STEM. But we have folks who volunteer with us on a weekly basis, and some who are able to volunteer maybe once a year. But if you're interested in helping do stuff outside, or even helping with projects indoors, we have a lot of things for people who would rather help in the office. The easiest way to kind of get in touch with us or let us know you're interested is to send an email to volunteer@tarriver.org. That's volunteer@tarriver.org.
Great.
And we'll see the paperwork and information to kind of get started and let you know about the opportunities to get involved.
All right. Well, come on. Hopefully the next time we'll catch you guys up, we'll be towards the end of the trail, and we'll be able to end our lovely tour of the Robert Creek Nature Preserve. So I'm going to go ahead and just say I've worked up definitely a sweat this morning. No doubt I've definitely gotten up some steps in, and I thank you, Derek, for making that happen this morning.
Glad to do it.
Definitely. But I always love to end the show talking a little bit about the person I'm interviewing and everything. And since we are in the beautiful season of fall, what's one of your favorite things to do outdoors in the fall?
Well, we're doing it right now. I really enjoy getting outside. You know, my job is working outside, and the summertime around here has been pretty hot.
It's a little rough.
But this is a time where we all really can enjoy being outside. The temperatures are cooling down. The air is just crisp and beautiful and wonderful to get out and breathe. And what I enjoy and encourage other people to do is find the places nearby to get out and hike, whether it's on one of our preserves or in your own neighborhood, or at your neighborhood park. Get out and enjoy nature while you can during this wonderful fall season.
Well, if people want to find out more information on the trails with Tar River Land Conservancy, or even how to volunteer, what's the best way to get you guys?
Well, the simplest way is either through our website, tarriver.org, or look us up on Facebook. And we have a Facebook page, and that's a great way to get in contact with us and find out about events, what's going on our trails, and also to send us a message if there's something you want to talk to us about.
And please hop on their Instagram. Like we were talking earlier about the different species. Like he has like a lot of different volunteers that actually come out and actually will capture some of those species, whether they're birds or whether they're beavers, all different types of things. So,
that's right.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you guys check out Tar River Land Conservancy. And of course, if you want to find anything else about what's going on in Granville County, just simply go to visitgranvillenc.com. And check us out on social media at Visit Granville County NC on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks, Derek.
Thank you, Angela.
Everybody have a great day. Get out and walk.